Do me a favor. Place your hands behind your back. You're going to be placed under arrest for the introduction of contraband into the correctional facility and possession of a controlled substance. How's it going, sir?
What we got here? How's it going, man? Carl Hawkins.
Deputy Rack.
So
what's up, man?
This dude's a prospect. It's good to see you, bro. He shows up a lot. Normally he shows up with a bunch of shit. You turn him around, he goes back to his car, comes back with like one piece of paper, serves the inmate. Today he shows up with his package. My staff lets him in, lets it in, and it's full of stuff. It's 15 of them.
Nice.
Yeah, the inmate locked up right now. Contraband's on the small office.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
And apparently he gave our staff at the gate here fake ID, fake driver's license.
Bro, his driver's license does not match the license that comes off the license plate.
What did he give him?
He gave me this number. Where it go?
He's going to give you the same one when
He's
you
gonna hand you the same one. That's what he gave me. That's not right.
That's not his.
Yeah. That's not
And the address on their driver's license is this, but the address off their license plate reader is totally different.
Yeah, because that's registered to the company. Okay. Let me see what he says. You mind stepping out for me, sir? You just wait right there for a minute, sir. Step right up here in front of my vehicle. That one right over here. All right, stay right here. All right, so before we get started, I'm going to read you a Miranda warning. All right, just because I'm conducting an investigation, it's possible to be criminal. All right, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have a right to talk to your lawyer. I've been present with you while you're being questioned. Now, for the hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any question if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise this right without answering questions or making any statements. You understand what I said to you? All right, having that in mind, you wish to talk to me?
Yes, I do.
All right, so explain to me what happened.
It was uneventful. I do what I always do when I go ahead and come out here to the prison. I go ahead and I call the security. Usually about 30-35 minutes before I go ahead and get on my way. I usually do it right when I pass about Midway Road, because I live in Port St. Lucie. Right there, as soon as I turn on to 70 from the St. Lucie fairgrounds, I pick up the phone, I call, let them know who I have.
Okay.
I go ahead, once I go ahead and let them know who I have, usually the person's here for me. I got here, gave my identification, parked my car.
Where's your identification?
It's in my car.
It's in your car? Go ahead and grab that for me.
My wallet.
Do you have your identification for your work too?
Yes, I do. I have both. This is for the 19th Judicial Circuit.
Okay.
And this is for my driver's license. I also have my 15th Circuit, where I'm licensed there as well.
All right, let's go on back here. All right. Can you tell me what's going on?
When I arrived, I waited for a little bit on the bench, and there was a black, I don't know if she's a sergeant or whatever she was. She yelled the person's last name, and that's usually how it works. And I went ahead and she let me in.
Okay.
I informed the person that these were foreclosure, because that's what I was told.
Hang on a second. That's fine.
And I handed it to him through the fence, like I would always do when I come out. So,
okay. Where did you get that paperwork at?
From a client that is somewhere, I think it's in, Lake Mary.
You got it personally from that client?
No, they were mailed to me.
They were mailed to you?
Yes.
And you work for the Circuit 19, correct?
I'm not an employee with them. I am a subcontractor.
You're a subcontractor with them?
Yeah, we're licensed through the circuit. There's two ways to get licensed to a pasta circuit. One is through the sheriff of the county, but there is no sheriff that would gives us a license here
Right.
in the county. So it's the circuit. It's by the precinct judge.
Okay, and they just mailed you this stuff.
They did. This particular one came from priority package, not UPS, but regular mail.
Regular mail. But it was priority regular mail. And did they say what was in that package? What was being?
Yeah, I've gotten work for them usually for this prison before, and they told me it was foreclosures, and that this was important because in this particular case, they said that there was equity in the property, and the first sale did not go through.
Okay.
And apparently, this is foreclosure where I was told there's like about $73,000 owed on the property, and it was worth like about $3,000. And I like to know that information so I can inform them, and that it looks like that's.
And prior, do you know you got the name and everything of the person that told you to come deliver this?
No.
You don't have a name.
No, because she provides the affidavits for me.
Who does?
The person at the processing company who I got this from.
Okay, so it didn't come directly from you.
No.
Well, from that person.
Well, she mailed it.
She mailed it directly to you.
Yes.
But you don't know who directly mailed it to you.
No, because it doesn't go through my company. It goes through hers, and then she provides me an affidavit. She's very slow on her affidavits.
But the thing is, what I'm trying to get at, how did they know how to mail it to you? Who did you talk to get your address?
Well, I'm listed in what's called FACS, Florida Association of Professional Processors, and I assume that's usually where they get my information to be able to call me to be able to go ahead and.
Okay, and who pays you to come up here and do this? Because I know you don't do it for free.
No. Matter of fact, I get $100, $50 per document, and in her case, she always pays me cash.
So you know it's a she, but you don't have a name?
No, her name's Amanda.
Okay, so now you got a name.
No, you never didn't ask me.
I asked you a name. I said, who mailed you them documents? And you said you did not have a name.
No, I don't know who it is, but I mean, as far as a name of a company, no. But
okay, but who was the name that mailed you the documents?
Her name's Amanda.
Amanda what?
I don't know.
Okay, who does she work for?
She works for a processing company, that's all I know.
Okay, she works for a processing servicing company out of where?
Out of Winter Park?
Winter Park. Okay, do we have a number or anything for her?
No, she usually will call me, but she's very specific about the time
and
day that I need to be here.
Okay, but she works for a processing service company out of Lake Park.
Winter Park.
Winter Park. Amy is the only thing out of Winter Park.
No, her name's Amanda.
Amanda out of Winter Park. But no last name, nothing else, right?
Have it, no. Because they contact me and usually I let them know what my fee is.
And they just pay you.
And in this case, they pay me cash. It's not the first time.
So they paid you cash. So this isn't the first time they've done it.
No, and they usually do pay me cash.
Okay.
That's why I keep it out of my...
But they pay you cash. You have to give them a receipt or anything?
No,
nothing.
But I do have to give them an affidavit of service.
Okay, what name do you put on that affidavit? Because you have to have a first and last name on the affidavit.
My name is usually who I...
But who do you give that affidavit to, saying that you served it for that person?
I normally mail it to her.
You mail it to her, but how does she mail you cash?
She mails me. I usually go ahead and mail it back to her once she gets sent me the email. Once she sends me...
So how do you get the cash?
As soon as I get the paper and I open up the documents...
The cash is in there. So you've opened up these documents, correct? Okay, knowing that you've opened up these documents to know what's inside, what was inside these documents you were given?
Documents to serve for mortgage foreclosure.
Documents that were served, okay. So explain to me how we got several cell phones and everything in them documents that you served. That you said you've opened up and everything else. Explain that to me.
I opened up the package and the documents are there. It's a normal foreclosure.
It's a normal, what was inside them documents?
The mortgage foreclosure procedures, I assume.
Okay, so you opened up, what did you open up? It was a bunch of cell phones. What did you open up to know what's inside?
All I do is just go ahead and take the packages out with the documents, and I go ahead and I put them on the side. They don't need to go to my company.
Okay.
And then when she tells me, she's very specific about when to come, And she said between this time on Friday.
Okay. So she wants an exact time when you come.
I am not aware of.
Open up these documents and know what paperwork's inside of.
Well, only because of what she has told me that is coming.
Okay, when
she
you
called me last Thursday, a week ago yesterday.
So when you get these documents that you say you open up, what do you open up to look inside?
I open up and I see what they are. There's usually a letter that's there, and it tells me the date and time. In this case, it came in on Tuesday. I knew they were coming in because she called me on Thursday, and then I put the documents off to the side. And then on yesterday, or this morning, I put them in my car, and I went to work like I always did. And
what were the documents in when you got them?
One of those paper United States Post Office priority packages.
Okay. And when you deliver them, what were they in? Were they still in that mail?
When I take them out, I literally take them out and that's it. Just give them to the person.
Okay. When did you get these packages again?
I got them on Tuesday.
Of this week?
Yeah, and I opened it up immediately. And then I went ahead and took it and put it on. In this case, it was.
So you opened it up. You just opened it up and got the front document. You didn't go through any of it. You just opened it up and there was a paper on front.
Yes. And
okay.
There's never a reason for me to go ahead and do the document because it's coming from a paralegal.
Okay. But it's coming from a paralegal.
Yes.
What was the address on there?
Somewhere in Winter Park.
Somewhere in Winter Park, but you don't know the name of it or anything like that?
I do not.
Okay. When you brought him here, what was the name of the inmate that was getting served? You know that?
Alan Stratton.
Alan? You have that with him? Okay. Well, I'll get that from you here in a minute. Okay.
Yeah, they were actually pretty thick, but I didn't.
So you opened it up, but you didn't go through it.
No.
You just opened it up, and there was a paper that says what you need to do with it.
Right. And they came in on Tuesday. I actually left them sitting there
in your office or your house or wherever.
Right. Because they didn't go through my company. They were right there by my company.
Okay.
And they stayed there pretty much the whole week until this morning.
Okay.
And I grabbed it with my clipboard and everything else. But all.
And how thick were these paperwork that you got?
Ooh, thicker than. This is pretty much sometimes average mortgage foreclosures.
Okay.
Especially on a deceased person.
So when you got these paperwork, there wasn't a return address or nothing on there?
No.
Nothing.
Because what she'll do is she'll call me and I'll remind her. Usually she's very slow in getting me the affidavit.
Okay.
She'll go ahead and call me and say, "Oh, thanks for getting that done for me." And then I say, "Yeah, you haven't got me the affidavit yet." And then she'll get me an affidavit.
All right. So just wait right here for me. Just wait right there for a minute. Who found him?
Collins.
Collins?
Sergeant Collins, you know.
All right. When she found him, I'll go up there and talk to her.
He was already walking down the compound.
He was already walking down the compound?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got the 5 Sandy boys.
Yeah, so that's so much. It was like glued. Like it was all glued up. Like,
yeah, this guy doesn't make no sense. Let me call my supervisor.
Did you check on his ID?
Yeah, his ID matches.
Matches?
That's him. This one. That's just an older picture of him.
But look at the address.
Well, the number, people don't freaking update their crap. So that's the problem. And that vehicle's registered to the company he works for.
You want the inmate's name in DC?
Yeah, I'll get that. Give me 1 second.
You love the Contraband Uber?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I need that. Still got to get him for it. Doing that. Let me see what all. Just give me 1 second.
This is not the first time I've gotten the documents like that from this lady.
Okay.
And that concerns me because if you're telling me there's something in there, this is not the first.
Okay, what also concerns me is the stories that you have being a process server, that you don't know where these paperwork is coming from, you're just sending stuff to. So you don't even know if they're legit stuff.
Well,
and you committed a felony. Each cell phone is a count that's inside that property that you introduced into this state facility.
But I'm telling you right now, I have no idea what's inside.
I understand that. So I've got to go look at these documents. You wait right here, and I will be back. All right. I'm going to go talk to Sarge still there. Collins?
I think she's coming up.
She's coming up. Is she bringing up the packages? And
No,
stuff?
I got the captain on to bring the contraband up.
Okay. So, yeah, I got a feeling he's been doing this for a while.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but I'm gonna wait to see the packages, and he's probably going to jail.
Good. So don't forget the 5 Xanny bars.
Where are they at?
With it. I said
It was-
we forgot
oh.
the 5 Xanny bars.
I didn't even hear that. Okay, great,
It's 4 whole ones and then one
Bring
broken
Collins
half.
with you.
nice.
Bring Collins.
Or you can say 4. No, it's a long night for me.
Yeah,
Go back a little ways, man.
I know.
We're about to do
That's it. He knows nothing. No, he speaks English. He just doesn't know nothing. He lives.
all glued together.
It was just like that.
They were all glued together, and then when you open it up, they were all layered in there.
Okay.
There's 5 Xanax bars they're in a bag.
They're in a bag and. Ah, got it. Okay.
How many chargers do you use?
A lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16. 16?
Chargers?
Yeah. You can't tell me. You open it up and no.
Dude, so the name of the inmate ain't even on it, bro.
Mm-mm.
Anywhere. Who's Edward? That's not even, that inmate ain't even there. So he just handed it to what? The name of the inmate isn't on there anywhere.
Mm.
So why?
There's a crap load of phones in here.
15. Tell me he's got to rank his name on.
And now when we found these, when he came up here, did what the? So we got 2 packages. One had the chargers in it.
No,
other
they
one had-
all had, they both had chargers and chargers.
Okay. I'm gonna send you a link for that phone on that number,
Yeah.
so you can send me them pictures.
Are you going to take the evidence?
Yeah.
Okay.
All this.
Did you get the Xanny bars too?
Yep.
Good deal. Told you it was 5.
How much are
All right.
Well, DLC hasn't changed, bro.
I'll put this in the back of my car. You ain't old and brittle. Yeah. Well, you know, they have to continue the thing.
You told me to watch you.
I called Barco on the sheriff's dispatch. So what are you doing, man? He goes, I'm in the fucking keys.
All right. All right, sir. Do me a favor. Place your hands behind your back. You're going to be placed under arrest for the introduction of contraband to the correctional facility and possession of a controlled substance. Yes, sir. There's Xanax bars inside there. So, question for you. Do you want him to drive your vehicle home? Or do you want me to tow it? You got anything illegal on you? Just got poke me, stick me, anything like that? Alright, come on back over here. 636, I drive usual Kansas 1015.
Is she going to be able to get my my
You show
driver's license?
the register owner 1015 of that vehicle.
Come on, Ray.
Yeah, there it is. Spin around. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Right over there, sir. Right over here. So, how much did you say you got paid? $50 a document?
$50 a document. There was a $100 bill in the
In the package with you, when you got it.
Yeah, it was on top when I wrote it.
Okay. And how many times do you say you've done it with her?
I was trying to think, just now I was just trying to think, and I actually think that the last time I didn't work was in December. I got one to take out here for her, and I want to say it's been at least probably 4 or 5, maybe even 6 times.
4 or 5, well, 6 times?
I would say maybe 5 or 6.
Okay.
This is not the first.